We're in misery. And we mourn, not just cry, we mourn. And it's coming deep from the heart. It's not talking about professional mourners who, when somebody has died, they are paid in Israel at that time to come and mourn. And they come there. While they're coming on the way, they're jovial, they're funny, they're, just lousy. And then they come, once they come near the house, then they throw themselves to the ground, they cry and they weep. And it was like that in the days of Christ. A child had died, and Christ was coming to raise him up, and they had been there mourning and mourning and mourning. And when Christ came, he said, well, these are due. The girl, the damsel, is not dead, but he sleepeth. Immediately they turned into laughter. Their mourning was not real. They made it up. It was superficial. It was plastic. But the real mourners, are they in their heart, they mourn. Death has taken place, and they know that spiritual death is more serious than physical death. And because of that spiritual death that sin causes, blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Actually, they shall be converted. They shall be forgiven. The sin that caused pain in their heart, the sin that made them to lose the most precious, that is life eternal, they mourn because of that. The sin that destroyed them, that cut them up from the kingdom of God, they come to a practical realization that they're going to suffer misery in the future, eternal future. Because of that, they mourn, and God comes to comfort them with forgiveness, comfort them with freedom, comfort them with peace of heart. Actually, the reason why many people who claim to be saved today, they don't have the evidence of that salvation. They didn't realize the depth of their sin. They didn't realize the depth of their sin, from their sin. They didn't realize the devastation, the evil, and the suffering they're going to have because of their sin. Therefore, they don't really mourn. And we're talking about Jesus. He'll bless you. He'll heal you, he'll deliver you, he'll butter your bread and sugar your tea, he'll make life pleasant. You want to have that Jesus who will always make you happy. You want to have that Jesus who will heal you every time you're sick. You want to have that Jesus who is so good and he doesn't bother you about anything negative, positive in your life, success in your life. Raise up your hand, and they raise up their hands, and then they pray and we pray. But there's no mourning. There's no realization of their sin. There's no conviction of their sin. There is no sorrow that they offended the eternal God. And then they claim to be saved, to be converted. And we're looking at the sign of conversion in them. We cannot find, because they never realized the damage that sin had caused in their lives. They never realized the death that sin has brought into their lives, and they never mourned. But blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Look at three things here. Number one, the reason why we mourn. Number one, personal sin. Personal sin. When you realize here is what you have done, when you realize this is how far you have gone, and you realize that personal sin brings